Hi guys, this is the Seattle Ring Hunter, and recently I was contacted by a name of Jake, and he is actually up here a few years ago in the Seattle area, and he officiated a wedding of his best friend, and that couple was out here at the Seattle Tennis Club. You got Lake Washington behind us here, and this was a few years ago, but he found me through the ring finders, and he wanted to take and have another search effort just to see if we could find a lost ring out there in the water. So basically, his friend had taken his grandmother's heirloom wedding ring and give it to his wife, and so Jake had officiated the marriage for these two, and she actually was swimming out here 5 years ago, almost to date, and that high dive over there off that platform that is anchored, it hasn't moved over the years. It's still in the same fixed location. She jumped off. Actually, she just dumped off into the water there. And it's not actually too deep there, but at any rate, the ring came off. It's a heirloom wedding ring with a solitaire diamond in it, and it means the world to them, and they would definitely like to get that back. So we're going to make another effort today. My first effort. There was another scuba diver back at that time that they had brought out here. We're not certain if that individual actually used metal detection equipment. Hard for me to believe that they would try to find a ring with that silty lake bottom and think that they might be able to find it with the milfoil. There is some milfoil in our lakes out here in the Great Northwest. This actually area, because this is a very nice club, has recently had some of that milfoil removed as a seasonal. They come out and try to clean it up a little bit so the swimmers aren't contending with it too much. I'm not too worried about the milfoil, even if it's growing back a little bit. We have the metal detection gear as we've done in the past. So we're gonna go out there, come along for the ride, and let's see if what we can turn up. There's bound to be a few other lost items out there we might find as well. But if we can find this ring, it'll make a really nice recovery for this couple after 5 years lost in Lake Washington. All right, cheers. Hey guys, it's Seattle Ring Hunter. I just got done with my first dive out there, and I just got into the sweet spot where I started to find a lot of the items people were losing as they jumped off that higher platform. We found a Apple Watch. It was completely roached out with the water on it, the Apple Watch. And then we found a little, I don't know, it was like a Fitbit, but one of those activity trackers, a wristband type deals that was electronic, was roached out. A couple coins, a key, a few other things, and we'll get some pictures of that up here in a little bit here. But so far on our first dive, we did locate somebody's lost wedding ring. And the manager of the club actually just came out and made contact with him, and there was an inscription on the inside of this ring, and it says "with love," or it says "love Megan," and a date on it. And upstairs, the administrative of the Seattle Tennis Club, the administration was able to reach out to the Megans that they had on file, and they just contacted her, and she's potentially on her way out to the club. She lives close by, apparently. She's a member, current member, so she's going to come out. We'll go ahead and follow up with the rest of the story so we can get this lost ring back on her husband's finger where it belongs. So far, for the first dive, we've got one ring recovery, and the person that actually lost it, that family member, the spouse, is coming out to collect it. So one for today, and we'll see if we can get a second one here in a little bit on the next dive. And we finally were able to catch up with Gary. Why don't you go ahead and tell us, actually, before you tell us the story, your part of it, just to recap, I was actually called out to the Seattle Tennis Club a couple weeks ago to look for a ring that was lost about 5 years ago off of the high dive. Unfortunately, that ring hasn't been recovered yet, but we did happen to come across this gentleman's ring, and because there was an inscription on the inside, we're actually able to reach out to him and get it back to him. So why don't you tell us what exactly was going on and how long ago was it?
Yeah, about 4 years ago, my children and I were jumping off a high platform, and when I jumped in, my ring just happened to fall off. That was about 4 years ago, and I was fortunate enough to have the ring hunters out looking for another ring, but they just happened to stumble upon mine, and what a fabulous thing, because I thought it was gone forever.
So I'm curious, so how much effort did you put in that day or days after trying to dive down to look for it?
I put in about an hour's worth of work trying to get down, and I was able to get down to the bottom, but it was so much milfoil, I was not able to find anything, and when I started brushing around, the soot would just kick up, and it just became a mess. So yeah, I thought it was lost forever.
Yes, and exactly as you guys have seen in previous videos, that's pretty much the way our lakes are around here. Without having the scuba gear and having a metal detector, those rings are pretty quickly out of sight. It's not a visual find, and it's very difficult without metal detection gear and having actual scuba gear on to be able to be down there for quite some time to dig around and cover every inch of that area looking to see what's down there. So anyway, with that being said, I'd like to go ahead and return this to you, as you probably thought that was never coming back.
I never thought this was coming back, and thanks to the ring hunters, this is outstanding.
Yeah, well, we're really excited to be able to get that back to you. The inscription on the inside actually was what saved that ring to get it back to you. So that's always good, important news for those of you looking to get rings. The ring hunters, the ring finders website under Seattle, you can find Jeff Morgan, or you can go to the Seattle Ring Hunter at 206-618-8194, and I'd be happy to help you guys out if I can. So it's been great to get that back to you. Appreciate that.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Well, thanks for
highly recommend your service.
Well, thank you. Alright guys, here's the wrap up of all the treasures that we pulled out of Lake Washington on the dive there. So of course we've got our foil trash there that was alerting, so we pulled it out, got it out of there. This was actually a bow. It's actually got a metal clip on the back for someone's hair. And so we have a little bungee hair tie that we just want to throw away. Found at the same time. This here is a piece of pipe. Obviously want to get that out of there. Top of a can. Right here we've got a pair of swim goggles. Surprised I only found one pair, especially being in the swimming area. We've got a metal plate here, bracket of some sort that was used. I don't know what it was used on, but we know that it was sitting at the bottom, and it made quite a large target, but curious to get whatever that was out of there. This is actually appears to be like a ceramic insulator, maybe. It's pretty smooth, so some type of insulator. Don't know why it would be out there or where it was found, but this here is actually a metal, cheap metal. It's got holes in it, so it's one of those solar showers. I'm quite sure somebody was on that platform at one point, had one of those bags that you would use while you're camping, sitting out in the sun to get warm with the little plastic hose, and this is the shower head, and you let the water go all over you. Well, that was out in the water, and we picked it up out of there. Only 2 nails from construction and stuff they're doing on the platform, dive platform, most likely at some point in the past, because they're highly corroded now. This is kind of cool, old style medicine bottle, and it's very thick and heavy. That's not translating well in video, but if you're familiar with what these are, it is really thick glass. Pretty cool. Got some age on it, so it's been out there for a while. They don't make the Vicks Vapor Rub jars like that anymore. What do we got here? Just a little jewelry, little necklace. Because of the club, we got a couple keys, probably lockers or something, and another key tag. Most likely that one's brass there. And on the wristwatch assortment, we've got the good old Apple Watch, and if you can see in the screen there, it completely roached. It was not, these found about 13 feet deep. Timex here, it's roached out. Here's a Swiss Army, I believe that's what that would be. Basically that one's, I'm not sure about that one. This one here definitely is roached. You can see it's actually a bubble level now. Woohoo! You can see if something's level. These are little activity trackers here, kind of like your Fitbits or whatnot. I'm not sure what these are. I know they're dead. Just kind of fun to find that stuff. If you get them out of the water quickly enough, sometimes they'll last, sometimes they won't. But this one here is actually clock too, or watch, digital one that was like a bracelet, and it's dead. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 electronics. And on the coins, the clad coins, we got 2 US dimes and a penny, 21 cents. And this actually is probably hard to see. It is 2 euro coin. And for the fun stuff, guys, dun, 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 we got a platinum wedding band. Yes, we located the individual that this belongs to, and we'll be getting a follow-up with him pretty soon here. And a very small pinky ring. We're not revealing everything on this yet to see if we can locate the person it might belong to, but it's corroded and been in there for a very long period of time, so that one there is probably going to be a tougher locate. But gold, I believe. We'll get it cleaned up and take a look at it more closely. There we go. So that was a fun dive. We'll have to say that that was really cool. Find all these treasures. So anyway, until the next time.
If you've lost your ring or special item of value, please get in touch with me at theseattleringhunter.com as soon as possible so I can arrange to do a search for you.